Hey guys, good morning and welcome to this webinar. And basically, this webinar will give a lot of information to you. I hope, okay, and we'll make it this webinar a success, okay. And first, we'll discuss as what is the prerequisite, and we'll deploy if you run any Docker application in your AWS EC2 instances, how we are going to access, how we'll see that. After this, you want to make it instead of your IP and port, how we can make it access your own domain name. Let's create a one domain, then attach that application to that domain, and we can access that. Later on, we are going to use as how we are access this our domain with the HTTPS. One by one step we'll go for end-to-end development. Okay. First of all, this session prerequisite, it means simple, as how the websites are built. Okay, that will be fine. Okay, if you know the technical terminology, even that would be fine. Okay. Prerequisites, here is even if you know the route 53, okay, little bit what is the route 53 and all, even no worries, it's a DNS and all. This is what I'm asking. Raj, please, man. Okay, route 53, and the next, if you know the Nginx, that would be great. It's a web server, as how we are going to deploy the static pages, or maybe we can use the Nginx as a reverse proxy. Okay, and load balancer, how we are going to use. This is what we are going to use. And the next, as website domain register, let's say. If you want to develop your own website, then how you can register your domain. Okay, how to buy the domain register. All those things we are going to be discussed this mainly. And finally, the application we are going to use for Docker application. I think not only Docker application, any kind of application we are going to be deploy, like any Tomcat application using wherever we are going to deploy the application and we are accessing through the URL. This will be helpful for any application. Okay. But for in this session, I am going to use for the Docker to Docker, we are going to deploy the application. Okay, I'll take one small example first, then later on we'll see the var file inside the Docker image deployment, and then we can access that like it's a microservice kind of thing. Okay, first of all, let's take a first Ubuntu mission. First, I'll take a Ubuntu server first from my AWS account. And if you need to do this all the enhancer, you must have the AWS account registration. And once you have the successfully registered in AWS account, we can go through this. Okay, let me take Ubuntu server first. I'm going to take a new server here. I'm not discussing how to create AWS account and all these things. Okay, and take this here. Let me make a little bit zoom here. Okay, in this session, I'm going to use for Ubuntu server because of even maximum time I use in real time on Ubuntu one. Okay, and for this. Here I'm going for with the free tier instance, and let me go for this, and 8 GB is enough. And even if you want, you can make a tag for this. Okay, these security groups, there is a couple of ports I'm going to use. I make it now itself. I don't want to come back again. This Nginx port is used 80, let's say 80 port, and the next there is a couple of ports I'm going to use like 8081. In future, as why we are going to use this, I'll tell you later. Okay, in this I'm registering now itself 8082, and the next, let's say 443 for SSL, 443 for SSL ports. Okay, let me do this. These are the ports. These two my Docker application accessing. This is my Nginx running, and this is for the SSL port. Okay, HTTPS port is the 443, and then launch it. And I'm going to use this. My key already have. Then I'm going to use the same key here. If you don't have, you can create a new key. Then go for this instance. Let it be come up. Okay. Meanwhile, what I do, I'm going to use the mobile desktop to connect my server. Okay. In this place, I had that key PM file I have in this place. Okay. me start just text. It will be time. Once it is done, let's connect this server. My server is ready. Ubuntu server. I'll connect this. Let me connect this. Okay. Now I am successfully connected my Ubuntu server. It is created in the AWS. Okay. Now that's what I do. I'm going to install the couple of softwares here. Like as if you want to deploy your Nginx, okay, like as go run. Before that, I'm going to run the Docker application, right? For that, what I do, I need to install the Docker first. Docker software, I need to install this. Okay. And after that, what I do, in here, I'm going to install the Nginx also. Later we'll discuss this. First of all, let's install the Docker and let's run our application using the Docker. Okay, let's install the Docker in this mission. For this, even these steps I'll give you guys. Okay, you guys can be, once you start the server, let's first, when you take any Linux mission, take just first update. Okay, let it be update. Once it is update, then what to do? We are going to go for the install the Docker software here. Okay. It's taking. Even now today we are going to use the free domain registration. Okay, we are not paying for anything more. We are going to use the free domains only. Okay, even you can do this instead of buying the free domains. Like in other sites, even you can buy the directly domains from in AWS also. I'll show like as how to buy also there. Like a lot of people have a question like as can we buy the third-party domain? Can I integrate with AWS? That is also we will cover this session. Okay, how to integrate the third-party domains into the AWS. Let's install this Docker software. Here I use Nginx is the two ways. One is the Nginx to deploy my static website deployment purpose, and I'm using for Nginx as for reverse proxy also. Two ways I'm going to use here. Okay, don't confuse anything. For deploy your static website also, I'm going to use the Nginx. For this is a purpose we are going to use Nginx, and even we can use for Nginx for load balancing and reverse proxy as well. Okay, this is the two. This is a manual installation. This is as a containerization. Nginx as a containerization I'm going to use. Another one is the manual installation of Nginx here. Okay, once it is done, let me install the Docker. Let's install the Docker from scratch. I'm doing here without any confusion. It's take a little bit time. Done. Now let's what I do. Let me add for this user into this group. Why we need to add in this group? For example, let's say I'm going to do the Docker images. Now when I try to use the Docker images to get a Docker images in the system, we are going to use the Docker images command. Right now it's showing the permission denied. If you want to do this, what we do? We need to use the sudo. Instead of every command, Docker images, Docker containers, like whatever you want to be list out and checking for everything, you need to use the sudo command in front of the Docker command. If you don't want to use that, just add your user into the Docker group. Just add this user. Okay, check the Docker images. Still have the same issue because of this terminal which we use right after adding this any user to the particular group. Just I use this way. Okay, let me complete that session. Okay, which we are using. Then we can use this Docker images now. See, is now we are no need to use for the sudo command in front of the Docker. Let's start the Docker demo. Just check the status, like as I am checking the daemon is running or not. Yes, it's running. Control L. Let's clear the screen. Just I'm going to creating one directory here. Directory inside subdirectory. Okay, this is I'm going to go for the this directory. Okay, this directory I went. Now what I do, I'll just create one index.html page for static page. Nothing else. It's a just simple one line of code. I'm deploying this. Later we'll deploy the one Spring application. Okay, next example. This is for just for example purpose I'm trying to show you. The next what we do, let me run the container here. Now what is this command it will do? It will run your container, and this is for a container name. I'm using this volume because of instead of default Nginx page, when you run the Nginx container, it will be show that Nginx started, right? The default page. Instead of that page, I'm going to make it for my own page. My own page means index.html, like as hello guys, the message, right? Instead of Nginx default page, it will come to the my own page. Okay. I didn't put any Dockerfile for this, just I'm using for make a volume for this. I'm making a volume. This index.html file will be appended to the default index.html file of Nginx container. Okay, let's run this. Let me control A. Let me run in the background this -d. -d means it will, oh, it's already there here, and it will be run on the port number 8080. And even instead of 8080, I'll make it for, I don't want to make it come again changing. I'll do this port numbers is what 8081, 8082, right? 8081, 8082 is used. Now let me run the container with this 8081. This Nginx image is not, I don't have locally. It will download first, then it will be run. This image. Okay, we did not specify any version, it will by default it will take a latest. The tag, okay. And see the Docker PS, what the containers are running. This my application is running on the 8081 port. Now let's access this application. Okay, if you want to access this application, what we do? We are going to use the DNS or your public IP. DNS or public IP. We are going to use this. One second. 8081, yeah. Use the public DNS or public IP. That you wish, whatever you want. (8081). Now this application is we got, right? Now instead of see, this is not, I don't want. What to do? I want to make it my own website, my own domain. Okay, my own domain I want to integrate here. For that, what we do? Let's create a one domain first, and then we are going to be adding to the our route53 for DNS setup, and later we do the this instead of this IP and port. Let's access this. Okay, let's do that. Now first of all, if you want to create account, I am going to use the freenom. This is the one website to create your like as domains and all. Even not only freenom, you can have a lot of like as GoDaddy, freenom, Namecheap. That's the number of. Okay. Now I'll go with this. I'm signing here. I already have an account. If you don't have, you can sign up here. Okay. Sign in. Stay a little bit time. Let me log in this my credentials. Once it is login successfully, let's create a one domain here, free domain. Okay, this free domain is 1 year is free. After that, they will be charged. In between the 1 year, you don't want, you can just terminate this, register this domain. Okay. Now this is for this, you can go for services here and go for the, this is my domains, whatever I already registered. If you want to register new domain, just register new domain. Register your new domain. It's taking time. 1 second. Okay. Now find your domain like as what you are thinking like as. I'm going to take for like as I'll take this JMS webinar something. The domain name is the JMS webinar, or like whatever you want, like as what domain name you want to fill, you can take that. You can search this. That's available or not. It will be check this. Check availability. Now it will be show the couple of these are the free. If you want to buy the like as first day itself, you need to charge. Then if .com will go for this USD $8 for $8.38, and for this is okay. These are charges you need to be pay. If you want to take open or like as free, just get it this, and it will be get for up to 1 year free. I'm going to use the like as my domain name is the .ml. Okay, like as .ml I'm going to use. After this select what we do, then check out this part. Even we can buy the same domain here also, but if there is no free domains are not showing in this route 53. In services I go for the route 53. Sorry, this route 53, you will get it. This is the one. Okay, this is exactly I am the landing this page. If you want, you can register the domains here. If you go for this here, even we can search your which domain you want to be registered. We can search here. It will show the availability all registered domains. Whatever you want, you can choose here. Registered domain, can go for this. But here there is no free one will show. But here we can go for free one. Okay. Then this is the my domain name. Search this. This is the 3 months I have taken. Okay, like as even you can take up to 12 months. Even 12 months we can. Okay, complete under. Completed. Just 1 second. Stay registering. Once the complete order, it will come to the my domains place. Wherever I had the previously, I've already bought 2 domains. This is the 3rd domain I bought here. It's a free one. Okay. Go back to the search domain. Even if you go for this, that's done. If you go for my domains, this domain. Okay, there's a couple of domains I used. Now this is the what today I created. There is no any application not deployed here. Just go for here, manage domains. Click this. Manage domains. Now this is the what domains you created, and then go for your route 53 here. No, I don't want to buy here. Okay, like this, which kind of type of domain you want, you can go here. Okay, these are all domains we can buy here, and I don't want to go back this. Instead of this, I'll go for hosted zones. I already have a domain. I'm going to integrate my third-party domain into my AWS route 53. Okay, this is also very important. This is one of the AWS certification exam. This question. Create hosted zone, and the next same domain. What are the name we are buying here, right? This domain. JMS webinar. This name. No extra things here. Just domain name. Okay, and use this optional description your wish, and the next create a hosted zone. Okay, when you create a like as hosted zone, they will give the couple of things here for us. One is the so what like as routing policy. and then this is the type of your domain. Now here you will get a couple of namespaces here. Couple of namespaces we got here. What we need to do? We need to add these namespaces into this domain where we bought the domain, right? Here we need to add. Then only this domain will be talked to that route53. Go back here and check the name servers here, and then go for custom. Use custom name servers. Now here is the go back to your route53 and take this name servers. Copy this and paste it to the name server 1, and the second one. This is the name servers will be need to add. Then it will be talk to each other. And fourth one. So, and this. Once it is done, we are ready to go. Okay. Right. Now ready. Go to back to the list. Now we are ready to go. Then for example, now if you want to access this domain, what to do? We need to install the Nginx first. Then we can access our application using for this our own domain name. Okay. Now for this, let's install the Nginx first. Now I'm going to install Nginx as a reverse proxy. Okay. Have done all the step. All the step I have done. Okay. Now even though you can register one domain here, for example, your subdomain, create a record set here. Now this like as route53 having the 6 kind of policies, routing policies, simple routing policy, weighted, geolocation, based on your requirement. You need to choose for the which one we go for this. Okay, based on your location, based on your multiple server you are deployed. Okay, load balance. This route53 have the multiple advantages for us. It can be load balancing, it can be check health checks, all this kind of advantages we have. Okay, and this simple record set I'm going to choose. Now here I'm going to use for my blog is the first one is the www.jms.webinar.ml, and the choose endpoint is IP address, and we need to choose the IP address of which we are deploying our application. Now this is the A record set I'm choosing. This A record set is like server and then your domain, and if your two servers, so two host names are contact each other, then we can choose the CNAME type. Okay, that is like a long session in route53 types. Okay, that's when I'm discussing this session. Okay, go back to the route53 and do this IP address here. Okay, here there is a different types in there. A record set and CNAME, all the stuff here. Okay. Sorry, let me previous go back here because of I don't want to spend. Okay, let me go back next. Okay, let me create this first, later we'll see. Because of the TTL I give the 300 seconds. Okay, that is a long time, even let it be keep it. But if you want to modify anything up to you want to like as you want to update your record set, you must wait for the 300 seconds, then only will get for the 300 seconds. Now let me show you that what does mean here. Now let's see, because of this TTL is the mandatory for this domain. Okay, because if you someone like many people are accessing this until 300 seconds, if make a one request, that session will be stored into your client place. Okay, until 300 seconds are completed, you won't come to the new request to the this domain. Up until the 300 seconds, what are the time you specify here, up to that time it won't get the more request here. Okay, you can manage the load here. This is for like a 60 seconds to this is 2 days time. Maximum is the 2 days. But 2 days means you will get a old records. That's the drawbacks you get it. Okay, even in between the domain will be changed or something, still you will get a old domain data. Okay, just I put this 60 seconds for my domain. Now let's access the application with the your domain. See here, instead of your IP, we can use this is the www.jmswebinar.com. Okay, sorry, not .com, .ml. Okay, this is our domain, and you won't get anything because of we need to specify the port of that application 808. Now you will get your application here. But sir, I don't want to run this port also. Then we need to use the reverse proxy. Okay, we don't want to expose your port also. This is then we are going to use for our reverse proxy. Let's do that. Okay, guys, till now is clear, right? Just drop a message. I didn't write any Dockerfile here, Venkat. Okay, I'll explain it again one more time. Okay, I'll discuss. Till now is clear, right? Cool. I'll show on urgent. Everything I'll show at the end. Okay, drop your question. I'll show at the end. Arjun, Anuj Kumar, definitely I'll show.
I think right now we are accessing the not on the Docker container. I think we are accessing under VM.
No, actually, see how this Docker will work. Okay, Docker IP we are not accessing. We are accessing the domain IP only outside of this. If you want to talk to the another container, one container to another container, they will talk to each other. Okay, we are accessing this Docker application using for Docker only. Okay, if you want to access any Docker application, we use the Docker domain. Docker. Man, please, Praveen Kumar. Praveen Kumar, please, man. Guys, please. Okay, fine. Clear, right? We are accessing our Docker application through our host machine. There is no any application running on the 8081 port in this my like a Linux server. Only this Docker application is running. Okay, even if you see this is the application. This is running on this port. Clear, right? You will understand. Then I'll show the one more example. Okay. Fine. Then next, what we do? Now I don't want to access with the port also. Let's for this what we do. Even sir, why you are going to use the 8081? I can directly use for here when running the Docker container itself. I use the 80 port here also. Then I don't want to use the port, right? Yes. For example, now if I run the Nginx as a reverse proxy in this mission, then you run the another container Nginx. The two same ports are not be work for. Two times the same port won't work for your mission. Okay, the port is already binding exception. You can see that. In that scenario, you must change the your port. Okay, that's the reason I changed for first the my Docker application because of I'm running for my Nginx now this port. The reverse proxy is common for all application. Like as if we deploy the 20, 30, 40 application in a single mission, we can use the one Nginx. Okay, now let's see that how it will work. Okay, just see the control C. Okay, let me run install the Nginx and we'll see that. This is the Nginx. I'm going to install them manually. Okay. Let's install the Nginx, manually installing. It's not a containerization Nginx. Even if you want, we can use the container Nginx also. Okay. I'm doing manually Nginx. Sure, now done. Now this Nginx is installed under the etc/Nginx. Okay, here we can see all the configuration files of this. Okay. Now for this, what I do, I'm going to open this even nginx.conf file you can edit here. But if you want to, like based on your domain, your Nginx configuration file you want to do, this is the default Nginx configuration file. Based on it will work. Instead of that, I'll go for my own configuration file here. All configuration files I'm going to make it here. Okay. Now here I'm going to create a one, like as my domain, what is the name of my domain is there, the same I'm going to use here, my file name also. Okay, this is the file name of this. You can create n number of domains. If you create that n number of configuration file, you need to be create. I'm going to give the .com. Just do this. This is a small Nginx configuration, nothing. This is a server, and the server name, where is my container is running. This is for my local, like as you can access for inside this machine is the local host. Okay, this is the IP of the local host. This is for 8081 is my application is running. 8081 is my application is running. Now I'll hit my 80 port. This will be redirect to the this 8081 port. Okay, I'll hit this Nginx server. Nginx server will be redirect to the this domain. Okay, now we need to change this also. This is for JMS webinar. JMS webinar.ml. Okay, clear? Save this. After adding this, you need to be restart Nginx. Nginx restarted. Then go and access now. Here, see, 8081 port will work. Even without port also will work. Without port also will work this time. But here is the not secure. Here is the not secure. Now you want to make it for your domain with the SSL. Now here you want to make it your with this your domain is the SSL. Then what we do? We need to install some SSL certification. This is also open source. Now for open source is there is a one company that's a Let's Encrypt, guys. That Let's Encrypt, it is the certbot. Okay, this is certbot, guys. We can provide for this is a certification for us free. Okay, we can install these certifications. Okay, simple steps for SSL installation. Only one this command will be installed for SSL certification for in our domain. Okay, I guess how many domains you register, that many it will be installed our certifications. Let's see that. Let me access our domain in the SSL. Just what I do, just I'm going. This is the URL class. Even I'll share this Dockerfile. Please URLs, all the stuff document. You can download this. Just install the certbot. I'm installing the certbot. Even anywhere, this you no need to inside this path. Okay, you can install any software in any path. Okay, it's take little bit time. Okay, to install this certbot. Okay, meanwhile what we do right now, we are discussing like as we are deploying the small application, right? Another application we are going to deploy for the one Spring var file, the Spring var file and the Dockerfile I had. I'll show you that. Meanwhile, I'll show once it is complete. Okay, just I'm going to show you this. Okay, this is the Dockerfile. This is the var file. It's this var file thing. Our Jenkins will build, like as its Maven will build the var file, and it's under target folder. This from this target folder we are going to be copy here. Okay, this application will build later. After finishing this session, we'll discuss this also. We'll explain each and every line. Okay, no thing. It's just we'll see for this waiting for this installation. We'll discuss that also. Okay, and I'll take your questions meanwhile. What are the questions you are asking? Some questions are there to access, how to configure port number, that port with the DNS. That's what I did, Sivakumar, just now. This is what we done with the port access earlier. DNS with port, that's we already done. Now we done with the without port, that's we already done. Now we are doing with the HTTPS access. Okay, even now, for example, let's see, I had domain this, right? If we copy this URL, what will happen? This is only HTTP. Let's see here. Sorry, not this. Somewhere it's on our page. Let me take the actual where we are using this. Okay. Now, when you see this is the HTTP page. Now, when you access this HTTPS, then what happened? Your page won't be come up. Let's see that. Let's access the page with the HTTPS. It won't come. The site can't be reached. Now, this is what exactly we are doing now. This is what exactly we are doing now. Okay, with HTTPS, we are accessing my domain. Please, guys. We'll take your questions last. Okay. If you need disturbance, guys, just don't unmute, please. Understand? If you have any questions, you can drop a message. I'll read and I'll give a reply for you guys. Yeah. That's what I will do, Prasad. Next example, that's what I just showed, right? Another domain we are going to deploy in the same Nginx server. Okay. I'll show the next example. But I don't want to copy the file. Just I'm going to replace the existing file, the volume. freenom.com. I use for this Docker volume means instead of returning for instead of using volumes, we can create index.html file, then create any like a base image from Ubuntu or CentOS, then install the Nginx, then copy this file to the Nginx default HTML page path, then then run the Nginx server, then build the Docker image, then run the container. This is the 4 steps you need to do for manually. Instead of doing this many stuff, just I make a simple line of command to run my Nginx with the static page. Okay, I make it simplified. Guys, yes, this here hosted ones, they will be charged for this $0.50 they monthly they will be charged. Okay, they'll charge $0.50 for monthly. When you create itself, they'll charge for this dollar. For monthly, they'll charge this charge. Ravi. And what is the host you were given in the CNF file in AWS instance host? Ramprasad, that is for Nginx configuration file. Because of I don't want to access my port if any number of domains we created. This is will work as a reverse proxy. This Nginx configuration will work as a reverse proxy for me. That's the reason I given there. Like as when I make a hit door Nginx IP, it will redirect to the local host IP, like a local host colon 8081. That port will be redirect. I don't want to outside accessing that 808 port. Like as it's a kind of load balancing. Clear, Ramprasad? We seen that, right? We are accessing through the port earlier. Instead of port accessing, we are make it for without port accessing using the reverse proxy of the Nginx. Clear? Okay, let me take. Let's see that our stuff installation done. Yes, installation is done. Let's move on. Okay, now this installation is done. Then next, what do we do? Let's install the certificate. Yes, we can install the certification. Now we will ask a couple of things here. Need to be confirmed. Now it's saying that you need to give the email address to confirmation. I'll give the some email address here. Okay. Now it says agree the conditions. Okay. The next you would like to issue the certification issue, then share your email address. Yes, I'm sharing with them. Okay. Now this is the domain, only one domain they're finding in the conflict. Now they are asking me to can we install this HTTPS certification on this domain? I'm saying that give the number of like as if you have the 5 4 and all, it will give the 1 2 3 4. You need to pass the particular number here with the comma separate here. Appropriate number separated with the comma. Okay. Only one I have. Just I'm installing this. Okay. They're writing that congratulations, you are successfully installed. It's saying that email appears invalid. That's fine. Now see that your domain with this HTTPS. Right now, earlier this domain is not accessible with HTTPS, right? One second, guys. 1 second. Yes. Now see, we are accessing our site with the SSL. Okay, we are accessing our site is the SSL. 1 second. Clear? Now, yeah, Anuj, I'll give this. Okay, I'll give this document. No worries. Fine. The next what we do? Let's deploy the another application. Okay, like someone will asking like, I want to access with another application, right? Yeah. That is just where no one will be editing this. Just I'm giving the read only permissions. Okay, RO means read only. Like as we're not giving the editing permission for this container. Okay, fine. Let's deploy the another application. Okay, now let's say, let me go back here. Let me create a directory here. Okay, mkdir, some web app. I'll go for web app. Then what I do, let me refresh this. Like I'm going to copy my stuff here inside this web app. I'm going to copy my this Dockerfile and this var file. Think these two, like this Dockerfile you need to return, and this spring.var3 file when you build that through Jenkins or something in a tool using build tool and CA tool, and it will become up this var file. Okay, think that these steps will be done by the automation way through the Jenkins file. If you guys want to get to know this information, you can you can check my another videos in YouTube. Okay. Now see here, those files are copied here. Like same, this WinSCP we don't want to require. Okay, just SCP command I did for through the this terminal. This is a mobile install. This is my pretty handy using this tool. I'm using this. 1 second. Let's file here. See, we are in this path. Go back this and see these files are copied here. Okay, this string.var file, it contains the group of something like Java classes, the REST service it has. Okay, microservice it is. Now it is inside the code it here. Okay. And the next what I have written, this is by another guy written by the GitHub open source project. I have taken and built it. Okay, mkn project it is, Java mkn. Now see here, I'm taking a base image is Tomcat. I just mentioned the who written this Docker file, and the next I'm saying that this is my working directory of webs. Okay, where my all the files going to be deployed. Okay, like basically in the Tomcat where we deploy in the web apps folder, right? Now I say just I am specifying that where we are in the path. Just even it's not required to run this command. Just like as some student is asking me, let's just design specify this command. The next what we do, I'll copy this file to the under web apps folder. Okay, the CMD entry point it has no need to record for here. When you run this Tomcat base image, and this image base image is have the catalina.sh run command in the CMD of this base image, it will run your Tomcat. Okay, clear? Simple. This simple one command, copy this var file into web apps folder. I'm using for this base image. I guess if you know the basic knowledge on the Dockerfile, you will understand this. Okay, leave it about all the stuff if you don't know also. Okay. The next what to do, let's build the image. Let's build the Docker image. Okay. Okay, I didn't return anything this here. Let me build this Docker build -t and then name like say web app. Any name you wish. And the one means dot means it's a current path in the Docker file is there. If you are in the some other path is there, then what you do, we need to specify the -f option. -f and your Docker file path and your Docker file name. Even we don't need to give the Docker file same name, you can give any name here, it will work. Okay, then that time we must pass the -f and then path of the file and file name. The next what we do, we run this, then run the container docker run -d. I'm running the background, and then I'm exposing the ports like as 8082. Internally this application is running for Tomcat is running on 8080. Okay, like as that's the reason Docker file we are exposing this port. Okay, because of some people will see the Docker file, then they want to be how to run the container means they must know this port, otherwise they will be they can't be. Okay, that is the expose command we are specifying inside the Docker file. Okay, then next what we do, then we can give the container name. Container name is anything, my web application something. Okay, and the next your image name and your image name. Okay, is that enough as of now? Right. Right. This is my long back issue. my typo issue. Okay, let me see here, Docker PS. Now these two applications are running now. These two applications are running. This is the 8082. This application is running for my application. If you want to access this, what we need to do? Let's see this. What is inside that WAR file having that code? Okay, go to your here and then access this. A08. Okay, this is my Tomcat, and then this is the same WAR. This is the context path. Where is the WAR file? Because this manager app won't work because of here we are not editing the tomcat-users.xml file. Who know the Tomcat very well? They know like where we need to give the roles and then username password of your Tomcat. Okay, you can access the Spring 3. Okay, this is the code. This is the code P inside that WAR file has. Okay, instead of now, if you want to access this, then what we do? We need to return for our like as own domain name. For this, let's create a own domain name for this. Let's go for route53. The same here, same hosted zone. Let me create another record. Simple routing policy. Create next. Okay, and the next define a simple record. And here I'm going to give this. Let's say web.jms-webinar.ml. This is my web application. Okay, and the next here is the IP address, and can specify the where you are running. Okay, and the next let's go for this route53, this IP address. The next do this less TTL simple. Fine. Now what we do? Let's access this web dot. Okay, the same here. This is HTTP only. Okay, it's not HTTPS. HTTP web dot. Okay, JMS webinar dot ml 8082. Okay, now we can access this application. And the next, our context path is the Spring 3. This is my WAR file name, same. Okay, now we can see access this. But here I don't want to expose my port and all the thing. This what to do. Let me add this in the Nginx configuration. Then go back to the etc/nginx. Nginx here. Okay. Now see the conf, and here let me return the one more configuration file here. Sudo va and the next web dot same domain name web dot just remaining stuff. Okay, now here the same couple of sample code whatever we written this earlier, the same thing we need to use here. And the next what we do, instead of here we change our domain name, that's it, and the ports. And I open this what after installing certbot, what is the code it's added internally. Okay, now here is the your server name is web dot your web dot jms webinar.ml, and here is that your container is running on 8082 port. Okay, then escape it, shift colon right click. Okay, then next what we do, we need to restart the Nginx again. After changing the configuration, you must be restart. Okay, after restarting, then what we do, we can see we don't want to port exposing this time. Now we can give the server name, that's it. This will be direct to that. You can access without port also. Now it's a not SSL. It's not SSL. Now what we do, we need to install the SSL for that. Okay, let's see here what's happening before this. Open this file, the first like latest one which we created, configuration file. This like this, right? And if you see SSL one, cat and this. See, there is a couple of lines added. These lines will be managed by the certbot. This will be installed the PM files, and certification will be installed here. They will be redirect URL or everything that written by, if you listen 804, it will redirect to the 404. It will not clear. Okay, now these are things will be written by the it will manage by the certbot. This command, this port 443 port will be managed by the certbot. Okay, that's the reason the HTTPS will work for us. Now we need to install the HTTPS for this also. For that, what we do? We need to just one command that we need to use here. Okay, this command. Okay, sudo certbot Nginx. Okay, now it will ask like as which domain you want to install certificate. The first one it will ask, it's already there. Can we override this? It will ask. If you don't want that, then we can use for the like as your first one only direct. Second one we already have the previous one, right? Let's enter this. You can see the numbering here. Okay. I do not restart this before this. Then what we do? Let's see access the HTTPS, the same application with the HTTPS. It can't be. It can't access. Okay, like we done right. We installed. That's the reason we got it now. It won't become. Okay. Before installing, if you access, it won't come. Okay. This HTTPS will work with the. Okay. We didn't test it before this HTTPS. Right. This is the way we can deploy your own websites and own application with your own domains. Okay. Clear? This is a certbot. Let's encrypt. This is certbot from the let's encrypt. Okay. And the next Docker application route53 and all. Now this like as pushing images, deploying this application we are returning for inside using for Jenkins file. Okay. If you want to deploy in the EKS cluster or whatever it may be, we are returning for the dependencies code. Those code will be go for deploying. Now we are deploying the EC2 instance. If you want to deploy as a forget, like a CCS or anything more, then what we do? We need to use for the any infrastructure provisioning tool like terraform, those kind of like a load formation. Then what we do? We need to return that code. Okay, that will be done by automatically end to end, right? Clear? That is what we do by real time basically. Everything is done by the automation. Okay, and another thing is like as we have, I'll take one more webinar or maybe like next 1 or 2 weeks. That is the latest. Instead of Jenkins, Circle CA, GitLab, like whatever they are using. Okay. Instead of whatever we do like a CI/CD pipeline, we are going to use with the GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions. Now we have in GitHub also we have feature for CI/CD implementation with the GitHub Actions. Okay. What does it mean here is like when you see your GitHub account, this is last year they released this feature. Okay, take any here, there is an option in the actions here. You can create for your own CI/CD pipeline here. Okay, you can go and create your own CI/CD pipelines here for any kind of applications. Same our Jenkins file how we written, right? The same we written in the GitHub actions. We'll take session on this later on. Okay, that's it guys. Thanks for your support. Okay, I didn't face any much issues. Okay, that's fine. 1 or 2. Okay, I hope this session is helpful